Unless you're a teacher, you probably feel like you're not qualified to be homeschooling your kids, and I'm here to let you know that you are. So let's get to it. If you're new here, I'm Xuan, and I am a homeschool blogger, a slow living coach, and a homeschool mentor. And I help overwhelmed moms overcome burnout and live a more intentional life. And so today we're talking about your identity as a home educator and how you really need to embrace it and not fight it. I feel like oftentimes people have these limiting beliefs where like I'm not qualified to teach my kids, and so therefore I need to rely on a curriculum to teach for me. Like I'm not good enough just to figure things out on your own, which in the cases that you are good enough to figure out things on your own. You don't need to use curriculum. You don't need to have a history curriculum. You don't need to have a writing curriculum. You don't need to have a science curriculum. Maybe you need a math curriculum, but in the early years, you don't really need it. But yeah, in the later years, you probably do need a math curriculum. But that's just to say that you are qualified to teach your kids. So don't think that you're not. I mean, when you think about it, you've been teaching your kids since they were born. So to think that just because you don't have a credential that you're not qualified to teach your kids is totally wrong. And if anyone tries to like say that to you, then they're just totally clueless and they're just trying to find ways to, bring you down to their negative energy levels. And so I'm here to let you know that you can teach your kids, and you can be very good at it, and maybe even better than those that are credentialed. So I think like the most important part to home education is curiosity. Like you being curious, your kids being curious, let curiosity lead your homeschool, and you and your family will be much happier for it. And go down rabbit holes. You don't need to follow a curriculum in order to go down rabbit holes. Maybe you're learning something. Maybe you are using a curriculum and you're learning something from that, and your kids are like wanting to know more, and the curriculum doesn't supply you with more information. And so you need to go find resources and dive down a deep rabbit hole and learn more. And so go for it. And that may, take you off the curriculum for like a week or two or a year, like it has for us. And that is perfectly okay, because your kids are learning and they're loving the information that they're learning, and they're probably sharing it with everyone they know around them, right? So lead with curiosity. So you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm trying to, this is like our little homeschool basket, and it has all the things from the school year, and I want to put summer stuff in there. And next is to have confidence in your own ability. You need to trust your intuition. You know your kids better than any curriculum does or any outside person. So you need just to trust that you are doing what's right for your kids. And you need to, just believe in yourself. And you may be thinking, oh, that's great, Xuan, that's awesome. Just believe in myself. That's all I need to do. Well, I'm going to give you some tips on how you can build your confidence as a home educator. I'm going to keep these. These are my kids' story journals. We'll do that this summer. And then I have some word families and sight words. That's what they're called. Word families and sight words. And we're going to keep those. I'm not a big fan of flashcards, but sometimes you have to do what you don't want to do because your kids learn better that way. We're going to continue doing this during summer for my oldest son, which is time tests. I have more of these. And then also for my middle son, we're going to continue with math. I think he's almost done with this book. And then we have more to do. So the plan is just to homeschool maybe like 30 minutes a day, like 3 times a week. Maybe more, I don't know. It depends. This will be for next year, so I'll put this away. I'm going to continue writing with my oldest. This will move on till next year. So a lot of things that we're doing kind of rolls over to the next year because, like I said, we take our time. I don't think we're gonna use this one. I'm just gonna put them away. I have like a little drawer full of stuff. All right, so tips for building confidence. I'm gonna try to do this quickly because my battery's gonna run out and I don't wanna use a different camera. You need to recognize your strengths, because that is the most important thing in having confidence in your ability, is that you are, you know a lot of things already. You've lived a life. And so you can recognize those strengths and move from there. Next is to celebrate small successes and small wins. I think that's really important. We always kind of focus on the big wins. And the big wins are fun and exciting, but it's the small wins that get you anywhere. So focus on those instead. Next is like to seek knowledge and resources. Like, you don't have to just get everything out of your brain. Like, you look elsewhere, right? Like, you look online, you go to the library, you look at books, etc. You utilize like resources in museums and librarians and historians and whoever. So there's a lot of resources out there, and utilize them. Next is to trust your intuition. You know better than anyone else, but the thing about intuition is that it comes from a solid place. And if you are feeling anxious and overwhelmed, your intuition isn't going to be honest with you. And so instead, you need to center yourself and be grounded in order to really listen to your intuition and know what needs to be done or what comes next. Next is to like connect with your child and really get to know them. And when you really get to know them, you get to know what they're interested in, and then you kind of dive into that with them. And that really personalizes the learning, I think. And then you need to set realistic expectations. You knowing who your child is, like, you're not going to expect them to, write. If like they're learning how to write, like, don't expect them to write at a higher level than they really are, right? You need to have reasonable expectations for yourself and for your kids. Next is to have self-compassion, that you're going to make mistakes, that you're learning, You're learning how to be an educator and how to best serve your child. And that takes time to kind of figure that out. So be okay with that. And then you also want to build a network of like-minded, maybe not like-minded, but just build a network of people that understand where you're coming from. So whether that be online with the homeschool community online, or maybe in person, find people that you can talk to about, home educating your kids, because they're going to have some ideas and resources that you didn't think of. And then also they're very supportive and they kind of understand where you're coming from. And then finally, like, regularly reflect on your homeschooling journey. Because if you're not reflecting, you're not looking back at where you've been and figuring out where you're going to go and what changes you need to make, then your homeschool is going to be very stagnant, and it's going to feel very, unfulfilling, and you're going to have burnout and all those things that we don't want to have. So reflect and figure out where you can make changes. So if you found value in this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Sometimes I'll do, content like this, kind of mindset, kind of homeschooling content. And then other times I do vlogs and stuff like that. So it just depends on my mood and my schedule. And if you want to work a little bit deeper on this, I do have a new 4-week intensive called Summer Homeschool Reset. And you get to have me for 4 weeks, which means that you get to have 4 one-on-one sessions about an hour long on Zoom. And then we have 4 weeks of Voxer support, and I'm here. You can pick my brain all you want. I'm here for you. And so it starts in July, and I would love to have you in it. So make sure you check out the link down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.